Okay. I think we're live. Are we live?
I think we are. Looks like we are.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh. Okay. So this is awesome. We are live on Facebook. I love it. Hi, Adrian. So
Hi there. How you
let's
doing?
talk for a minute and hope that some people are coming in here. I have no idea how to check. You have to tell me these things.
No, and it's the first time I've done this cross posting as well. So let me have a look and see if I can see my page. Um, they'll be sick of me because I just did a live about an hour ago.
Yeah, but
um, we'll see. I can't see it coming through at the minute.
it's okay.
We'll worry.
We're not in a hurry. We're not in a hurry. So I clicked view post on Facebook. And it looks like it's coming through. Looks like it's coming through on Facebook. That's awesome. All right.
Excellent.
So, for anybody
Yes,
who
we are.
pardon me?
We are.
There we are. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to get out of this screen here. Oh my goodness, you guys! I am not a live streaming expert. I've done Facebook Live from the airport in New York and all over the world. You just click go live on Facebook. But this is something very, very different. And I'm really lucky right now because I have Adrian Salisbury with me. Adrian is actually, as I mentioned in the promo we did a few days ago, somebody that a while ago I was actually going on your page and getting tips about how to be a better photographer. So
How bizarre. I actually mentioned that in my live earlier.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I have found over the years that the people that are really good at video a lot of them started out as still photographers. And
Okay,
that's
interesting.
me. When I was a little girl, I was always running around carrying my camera.
Yes.
But Adrian runs ProVideo Academy for those of you who might be listening now or later, because hopefully we're recording this and we'll be able to repost it. But I have been using something called eCamm as a journalist to record my interviews since the very first moment they started years ago, and I use it several times a week, at least once a week for OWC Radio, and then other times when I'm interviewing people. And what is it now? A couple years ago, they came out with eCamm Live.
Yes.
And
yes.
yeah, and so it's one of those applications that I keep looking at and I keep going, oh, this looks really good. I want to try it, and I haven't. So this is my first time, and I happen to be, dummy that I am, doing it with the preeminent instructor for eCamm Live. Adrian's the best in the entire world at this. So while we have you on, Adrian, I'm hoping that we'll get some comments or questions. You might see some on your end, and we can answer people's questions. But so
totally.
I also want to talk to you, and don't let me forget, I want to talk to you about your new YouTube channel. So
yeah.
So let me just reiterate: Adrian Salisbury, ProVideo Academy, eCamm Live, and now a new YouTube channel, and an amazing photographer. So we're going to have a lot of questions for you. But let's start out with, tell me a little bit about you. You're in London right now, right?
Not in London. I'm about just over an hour north of London, Peterborough.
Oh, awesome. So how did you get started with all this? I always like to ask people what they like to do when they were 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah. Wow. I wanted to be a policeman when I was that sort of age. And actually, I tried out for it. Yeah, that takes me back. I think early 20. I was too young, really. They said, go and get some life experience and come back when you're more rounded, type thing. And then I decided, no, thank you.
So how did you end up
I think I just fancied driving around fast and getting away with it was really what it was about.
So does that mean you're going to arrest me if I don't do a good job on the eCamm Live stream? I hope that you can hear me through this microphone. For those listening, we had a minute before just before the interview started where I just couldn't get my microphone to register. It's the Neumann 102, which I purchased recently. And as is usually the case, right before you go live, something happens. I mean, I produced a digital production buzz for 9 years, and we were live every Thursday night at 6:00. So no matter where I was in the world, I was up with that. And it can be kind of scary, like if a guest doesn't show up at the last minute or something goes wrong with your equipment. So I'm just a little stressed.
Well, I'm looking on yours. I've actually, because I'm screen record, or we're looking at your screen. I can see you got no comments that have come in here, but I've definitely got one that's coming on my page from Moshi. So hi, Moshi. He's on here with us watching.
Hi, Moshi.
So I don't know why that's not pulling in.
I don't know, because usually we'll have a lot of people by now, but that's okay, because this is going to be on, I'm going to run it again, and then we'll run it on Saturday, audio only for OWC
Well, there's
Radio.
9 my end that are on. So if you move your mouse, actually, I'm looking at your screen. If you move your mouse, it shows you at the top there.
Yeah.
There you go, 9 eyes that are on. See on the top of that symbol?
Oh, yeah.
So it's just not pulling in. I mean, we literally did I've never done this cross-posting feature before, but the idea being that you're going out onto your page, and we can also spread it and share exactly the same stream across to my page. But I assumed that it would bring the comments in, but we literally did this seconds before we went live, which is a little bit scary.
Okay, so we have 8 on my page now. Okay, it's neck and neck, everybody. Come on in. We got to beat Adrian. Well, it'll take a while. It's lunchtime, so I figured maybe people could bring their lunches and just sit and talk to us for a moment. So, but we were talking about how you got started in photography.
Yes. Cirina, Moshi's just saying to me on here, can I introduce my guest? Because he's not familiar with you.
Oh, hi, everybody. I'm Cirina Catania. You can introduce me.
So, yeah, feel free to introduce yourself on here as well.
Yeah, I'm Cirina Catania. For those of you on Adrian's feed who don't know me, I'm probably most known as the co-founder of the Sundance Film Festival, but I'm an independent filmmaker and radio host and photographer, probably not nearly as good as Adrian, but I've worked on over 130 film and television programs over the years. So I just,
that's amazing.
as I get a little bit older, I like mentoring people, and Adrian's one of my mentors. So putting the two of us together.
There we go. It's lovely.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Moshe. Thanks for
sorry,
listening.
we cut you off. I was just going to introduce, you were asking me to introduce myself then.
Yes.
So my backstory really, and we touched on this the other day when we were getting together to talk about this show. I am a photographer, have been for 16, 17 years, but I've always loved helping people and teaching. And you're probably the same, Cirina. I'd stand there on holiday and I'd watch somebody really awkwardly with this camera, and I'm like, I just want to go over there and go, give it here and let me show you how to use it. And I think I've always had this, passion to teach. And definitely I was getting to the end with my photography. I'm thinking I'm actually getting more pleasure out of helping other people take good photos than I am getting on and doing the photos myself. So I think there was a transition really in me to want to teach and help other people more. So video was never on my radar. I set out, and we're only going back 3 years. That's not true. 5 or 6 years. I was creating YouTube videos about photography, and I'm teaching people how to set up different cameras and just helping them, and projects that you could do as a photographer and fun things like this for just really for those that had been out and bought a DSLR camera and hadn't got a clue what to do with it. So that was where I started. I created a beginner's guide to DSLR photography, and my intention was that was going to be my thing, teaching people photography. But in the process of me getting into communities and helping other people, learning along with other people, how do you promote a course and work with it? Everyone was saying to me, how do you do your videos? Because you're standing out and you're looking so much better than everybody else. And so what I'd learned myself and thought was pretty straightforward and normal, clearly wasn't. And so I pivoted at that point and thought, all right, well, instead of teaching hobbyist photography, let's help people get their businesses up and going and really get over this hurdle of how to make videos. So that was where the ProVideo Academy came from.
I found you on your photography. I think I actually got your DSLR guide. That was in the days when I was trying to switch from analog to digital. It was a hard transition for me. I really had a hard time. I was so used to my analog camera, my film camera, where I knew where every dial was, and I could almost adjust things without even looking at the camera. I knew every
Yes,
film
totally.
stock. Didn't
Yeah.
you know every film stock? So, like, if I would be going out
Well,
today, would I be using ProVia? If I was
no.
shooting if I was shooting black and white, it would be plus X, not tri X. All
Yeah.
that stuff. And
I
if you're getting a comment, you're welcome to interrupt. But anyway, so I found you again when I bought your tutorials on eCamm Live, and then I went on a trip.
Yes.
So I connected in via Facebook when you were doing these live Facebook events, and you were so wonderful to your students, and so I was captivated by you and your knowledge, and so I thought, oh my gosh, I want him on my show, and you graciously agreed
Thank you.
to come on my show. So I'm happy to have you, and I'm really let's talk about eCamm Live and what it is, and then I have some other questions about it. So can you explain?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
live streaming right now is very important to all of us, whether it's for business or for family.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, I got involved with eCamm actually. I was using it. I was using all the other tools, out there. I was all the other platforms and things, the web-based ones. Somebody had mentioned to me about eCamm, I think, and I just started getting into it, unboxing it, and thinking, this is incredible. This is a whole nother level of. And actually, as we've just been on here now, and we're able to, in advance of coming on here, I'm showing you how you can adjust each other's microphones. We can mute off different things. It's incredible. There's no other tool like it. So I actually approached the guys at eCamm and said, I want to make lots, I want to do a whole load of videos because, I mean, we'll talk in a minute about YouTube, but I've found on YouTube, the way that I've first got in front of customers is to serve them authentically and help them out with a problem that they're trying to fix. So as you say, there's so many people out there at the minute trying to get going, live streaming and just video conferencing and things that will be all over YouTube, typing it in, going, how do I do this? Well, I was getting in front of people and being the face that showed up every time, which is why I'm passionate about YouTube. But that's how I got started with eCamm. They were saying to me, we would love to have some tutorials. We're being asked for videos. We don't really know where to go with it and what to do with it. So it became a fantastic little partnership, and they love it. I love it because it's, I love their product, and it's just worked really well together.
So what do you need to have to run eCamm Live? You need to have a Skype account, right? Or not?
Only if you want to do interviewing. So eCamm Live is, you need to be on a Mac. But eCamm Live is primarily designed as a live streaming tool. So rather than just going out on Facebook and hitting go live, this just takes it up to a whole nother level, and you can do incredible presentations. You can brand all across your screen. You can use Skype and bring on a guest like this. We can actually totally change this around, and you could, instead of sitting side by side, I could be a picture in picture over you, or the other way around. And there's nothing else that's got the flexibility. I can do green screening. I can have little audio noises that appear, and as you've seen inside the Academy, which is really why I was passionate to get in the Academy going, because loads of folk like yourself actually were saying, yeah, I think I've got that. I think I bought that years ago, but I don't really use it. And I'm going, how can you not be using it?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an extremely powerful way of upgrading your live streaming primarily, but it does so much more. You could be going out live to YouTube at the same time, like we are here actually, going out to multiple accounts on Facebook. You could actually record only with it. So it becomes a good way of recording your screen or recording an interview like this. There are guys that do it, and although, it starts off as a recording looking face to face doing an interview, they only want the audio to take it off and do a podcast. But they still prefer this interaction of talking face to face rather than looking at a blank screen. So yeah, lots of applications where people can be using it.
I do too. I like that too. I mean, this is for OWC Radio, but here we are on video, and I think people then will have a choice. They'll have a choice. Do they want to listen to the podcast while they're driving in their car, which they can do because they can get it on iHeart or Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anywhere, or they
Yeah.
can. I'm going to put this up on the YouTube channel, so they'll have
Yep.
a choice, or they could do both. Maybe they just like watching because we're just so charming, and then they'll listen
But
again so they can pay attention in the car. Oh my gosh! Okay,
yeah,
I'm silly.
absolutely.
Ah,
Be interesting to see where people do come actually, and it's certainly if you were listening on a podcast, and I mean, well, not particularly here, but if you wanted to see something, or maybe I'm demonstrating a piece of equipment, it might be that you go, oh, I'll watch that when I get back, and I'll watch the video version of it. Totally.
so I'm curious, Adrian. What can people see on my screen? Are they just looking at my picture, your picture, or if I scroll over? Oh,
There
you're
you go.
watching.
They're just seeing us.
Okay. So, because I was wondering if I could show them how we were working on the audio. That's
So
okay.
if you wanted, you could. So what you need to do is you're on eCamm. If you hit on options and live demo mode, we're going to see your whole window there.
Now, should I make us bigger?
Um, doesn't really matter. We'll put it back down again afterwards.
Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger to be easier for people
Yeah.
to see. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just going to
Okay.
make it a little bit bigger. Oops. Okay. My life is so exciting. There's nothing on my screen people can't see. Ha!
Slide it a bit more, and we'll see all your icons. We'll lose all them.
Oh, that's all right. There you go. Okay, so options,
So,
live demo
options,
mode.
live demo mode.
Okay, turn on live demo mode. There we go.
Yep.
All right, you guys, are you listening?
And
I'm getting a lesson as we speak. So now you can see.
So this is what I do, and this is when I'm live streaming and I'm trying to explain settings, because you can't look at the tool that's recording, if you know what I mean. So by doing this, it's designed really for those of us that want to be able to do tutorials and train on it. So if you hit on the microphone tab, the next one down, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm getting audio. Don't scare me. Why is that exclamation mark there? That's it. Oh, because Skype is muted.
Oh, shouldn't
Why is
be.
Skype muted?
What's going on there? It's nothing my end, is it, that's knocked out?
No, it says Skype audio is currently being broadcast along with your mic system audio. The Skype volume slider and mute button are not available. That's fine. That's fine.
Right.
So I wanted to show people how we were adjusting the sound.
Yeah.
And like on your audio, system audio, I can adjust the levels if you sound like you're too hot or not hot enough.
Yeah.
Like with me, I'm going through the Scarlett Solo to the Neumann 102, and when we were first talking, I was freaking out a little bit because my volume was too low.
Yep.
So now I think hopefully we have it set right. I just wanted to show that to people.
And actually, the other thing was yours was sitting low, mine was sitting really high. So somebody watching this live along with it would be going, "Oh, he's really loud. You know, do I turn it? If I turn it up to hear Cirina, then I'm hearing him too loud, or
Right.
turn it down and you're too quiet." So it's important to, and this is what was part of the academy really is practicing and having a go at doing interviews and things when it's not really important. Just have a practice and a play, pull someone on and try it, so that you can test these things out and go, are our levels looking the same?
Right.
We can do all kinds of things. That's the audio side of it. We could then we just zoomed in on your camera a bit so that we're both sitting quite even in the view here. So if you untick the zoom and pan, then that's showing that was where you were, and then you just zoomed yourself in a bit so that you're coming closer to the size of me.
Shot. This is everything, including the door to my TV room.
Yeah.
And,
or then you bring it back up again, and then it's like it's just zooming in on you, so that now we're looking like we're sitting side by side. If you'd got a guest who had come on and they were, their camera wasn't looking good, you can actually scroll down on that tab, and you can actually adjust the color and things on either your camera or my feed. So all kinds of things that you could do.
The temperature, the tint, saturation. I can go black and white.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If you wanted to, actually, Look, let me show you this one. If I pull my green screen up here, you can control my green screen from your end. So if you switch on that camera effects to my camera, so Skype, so where it says FaceTime HD, go to Skype guest.
You guys are watching me get a live lesson here. So you're learning honestly.
I've got a load of customers that are watching along with us. Actually, they'll be saying they want me to come on and do this on their lives. Yeah.
No, you can't. Sorry, I'm imposing on you one time only. All right. So there you go. So now
if you scroll that down,
if
you scroll it down, come down the other way. Sorry, go up. So where it says green screen, now if you say select backgrounds, look, you've just changed my. So you. So I tell you what we can do. I'm going to get as distracted as you now, I think. What you can do if you want is just where it come down to the tick green screen again. So you've unticked it. And then move that slider along a little bit because it's got a bit of a fuzz around me. There, that's too far. Right, if you make me if you tick underneath that slider transparent PIP.
There you go.
And back on the main screen, if you minimize that one a second. Yeah. Come back on the main screen and you can see just near your picture down there at the bottom left. If you move your mouse. No, not on that one, on the main screen, just here? Near where your name is. That's it. There's a little box there that shows picture in picture just to the side of you above that. Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Now you can move me over and it can look like I'm in the room with you, kind of.
Hello, Adrian. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is like watching two creative people at the same time. So now how do I go back to where it was?
I was just going to say, we've totally trashed this now. You're not going to get back to where we were. And we've just lost everyone as well.
Oh my God. Did I knock everybody out?
No, I don't think so. They're still with us. So what you need to do is, you can, leave the green screen. Just what you're doing is you're changing, Cirina. You've noticed at the top it says FaceTime HD on that camera bit. So you need to change it back to your Skype guest. Now you're changing mine. So untick transparent, and near your face at the bottom of just below me in the main window. Tick that picture in picture again above it. And we're back. I'll stop messing about.
No, I quit. Okay, we've got to... You put two creative people together and this is what happens. But this is creativity at work. This is how wonderful things happen, right? If you're now let me go off of
you can stop sharing. Well done. Yeah. So options, live demo mode. There we go. We're back. Everyone's liking it anyway. This is the best training ever, Summer says. Dennis is liking it as well.
Okay, they like watching the dummy over here trying to figure it out. You know what? That's the best way to learn, though, by doing. Where do people go to find your eCamm Live Academy? That's really important. We need to tell them where to go for that.
Yeah. The easiest thing to do is, you can see my name at the bottom of here. If you go adriansalisbury.com, and then right at the top of my homepage is my ProVideo Academy, eCamm Live Academy, and YouTube Academy. And if they're not open at the minute, it'll be a wait page that you can just register an email, and then we'll tell you when it's coming open. Because they tend to run, I'm running, the ProVideo Academy is open all the time. The eCamm Live and the YouTube Academy are both open 3 times a year because we started them off. originally they were meant to be just evergreen courses that are there and live all the time. YouTube was the first one that I did last summer, and we got to the end of doing the live. We were there together for 2 weeks, and we just went, there's something special about this, and you wouldn't get this if you just signed up to a course, worked through it on your own. And Cirina, you said this, this was the kind of power of this training was, and a lot of the guys that are on here now actually were in the eCamm Live Academy as well, or in the YouTube Academy. And we just went, this is better to keep it as a pretty intense couple of weeks, a lot of information thrown at you. But there's something about that makes you get on and do it. You're in there together. It's quite easy to reach out in the group and say, like we've just been talking about here, I need to do an interview. Can you come on and let's have a go? I'm interested to see how to do this green screening of a guest. Can we have a go at this? And you're in a room full of people that are doing the same thing as you. It's just been a great space. So deliberately we're going, right, they're open for 2 weeks, 3 times a year, and they tend to be alternating through.
So when is it live again for eCamm Live? When is it available again?
So it's coming early because last time around, I think the first time we ran it, we had about 90 people sign up. Didn't know next time around whether we'd get as many, and we ended up, I think there was 125 people, and I've already got nearly 150 on an email wait list, and we're nowhere near. It should be happening at the end of May. But because so many people have just signed up to eCamm, everyone's trying to live stream and get their heads around this. I've said to eCamm that as soon as we've run the YouTube Academy, which starts on Monday, that will be 2 weeks starting on Monday. Give me a week to get my head into eCamm, and then we're opening up again. So I think
he doesn't
on my
sleep,
diary,
everybody, this guy never sleeps, I don't think.
20th of April.
You anymore?
Monday, the 20th of April, we're going to be opening up again. And we're actually looking potentially at doing 2 rounds of the eCamm Live Academy back to back because we've got so many people interested. So yeah, while everybody else is wondering what to do with themselves while they're locked up at home, I've never been busier.
That's amazing. I know, I'm really busy now too. It's like everything is, I don't know. When you edit, when I'm home, I'm editing a lot, or I'm traveling.
Right.
So I'm either traveling, filming, directing, mentoring, whatever. Then I get home and it's editing. So
yeah,
I just feel like I'm in the editing
Which
phase.
do you prefer?
I like being out in the fields. I have to admit.
Yeah.
I like being in the fresh air, being chased by lions. Yeah. Running away from lightning, climbing mountains. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I like being outside. But I want to know, tell me about your YouTube Academy.
So the YouTube Academy is, I'm super passionate about YouTube. I mentioned at the start of this, at least 70% of my ProVideo Academy customers, that's my core product, my course, at least 70% of them, as I talk to them, and this happened just the other night, I was on with a new customer on a one-to-one support call, and I'm saying to him about this YouTube Academy and how most people found me, and he said, actually, when I think about it, that's exactly how I found you, doing a Kajabi training. It was the software that we both use for our course. So I realized that, there is so much, and it's just, we all know that it's about building this know, like, and trust on a journey with a customer. Nobody wants to be sold to cold and, who is this person that's in my face selling to me? It's way nicer to actually have them come to you. And I think there's no better place for that than YouTube, because while your customer is on there searching on YouTube, I want an answer, I want a solution. If you can be that person who shows up and helps them, that's a massive first step to getting on their radar and starting to build a relationship with them. And when they're ready, if they want then to, have your course or whatever it is you teach, they'll come and find you, and it'll be way more pleasant than thinking you twisted their arm because you had this limited offer that was going to go in 3 hours. And so I'm extremely passionate about YouTube. And so for me, what I've done is we've started up this, and along with eCamm, they both kind of splinter off of my ProVideo, because if someone's got going making videos like this, it seems criminal not to be using it to be making great YouTube videos and getting out there. So it's designed right from scratch to say, I've never thought about it. I've got no idea. I don't know whether it would work for my business. We come up with a whole load of ideas. We brainstorm really, what is it that I'll give you a worksheet to go through. What is it that your audience is searching for right now on YouTube that you could be making videos and showing up and helping them right the way through, making videos, getting them uploaded, getting all your thumbnails, titles, all of those things sorted out. And then in the second week, it's really about putting into practice all what you've learned, trying it while you're in this nice community and safe space, throwing up thumbnails, throwing up the banner that you've created for the top of your channel and saying, hey, what do you think to this? It's a great space. And come the end of it, you should, if you've done your homework, have a year's worth of content, weekly YouTube video content that's really targeted and on point and just what your audience are looking for, so that you are creating this shop window that's going to sit there virtually for you 24/7 for years to come.
That's awesome. By the way, I was multitasking there for a minute. I'm sure you noticed. I accidentally hit the thing and made my name bigger. I was looking at the text to add the YouTube address. What's the name of the channel? The YouTube.
Well, if you go to that same adriansalisbury.com, then at the bottom of the page is my YouTube channel, my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. So that's actually, it works to go to that page, and then at the bottom are all my social media links. You can go off. It's basically Adrian Salisbury is the YouTube channel.
Okay.
But it will link you straight to it. Sorry?
Are you having fun?
Yes. Can you tell?
Yeah, that's what I noticed about you on the Facebook group. You really genuinely interacted with people. I have this thing. There's a formula that's going around about creating a sales funnel and doing auto emails, and you pay a service to integrate you into the sales funnel for whatever you're selling, and they all sound and look alike. And so you can tell immediately when somebody's using this particular service, and it's annoying.
Yeah.
Because you might find, as a consumer, you might find something that's very interesting, and you might click on it and subscribe to it, and the next thing you know, in one day you're getting 10 emails from them or calls.
Yeah.
And what you do is so much more personal. I mean, obviously, you have so many students, you can't interact with everyone individually, but I noticed that you really do have a more individualized approach to your teaching, and it's not because you're trying to, say, oh, go get this free thing, and then once you get there, oh, I'm going to charge you $5,000 for a mentorship program or something. I find that very annoying.
No, both the eCamm Academy and the YouTube Academy are both $99. Which is a great price to get all this sorted and get it under your belt and just,
It really is. I can't imagine anybody not wanting to do it. And I promise you I am going to go through all the lessons, because obviously I'm not very good at this yet. I'm glad I'm not afraid to make a fool out of myself in front of everybody. You know why?
No one's see. That's great.
It's important for me, and that's why I'm so grateful to OWC for sponsoring OWC Radio, because, and I've said this almost every time I come on, I'm grateful because it allows me to give people like you a voice and to bring you into an arena that maybe you haven't entered into yet. And
yes,
they're an amazing company, and I use their product all the time. Matter of fact, I'm running the Scarlett. I can't pull it so you can see it. There's this little tiny travel dock. There's no way you can see it.
No.
And when I travel,
don't go playing around with the mic now.
Oops. When I travel, I take this little travel dock, and it's got USB, HDMI, Thunderbolt 3, and power. You can actually charge your laptop off of it, and it's this big, literally this big, and it goes into the bag. And I'm at my dining room table. The times being what they are. And I'm running the Scarlett USB from the laptop to the travel dock to the Scarlett, and then out to my Neumann mic, and that's how I'm doing this live stream.
Fantastic.
By the way, let's talk about your equipment, because I know people are going to want to know a little bit more about what you use. Do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Absolutely, I can do.
Are people being shy? There's people in there. They're just not asking questions. Is that because we're so entertaining?
Maybe. There's a lot of laughing faces coming up. Yeah, I think we...
Yeah, I'm getting... My friends are used to this. We're on Cirina's... Somebody just laughed. Okay, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Keep laughing.
I used Canon for years. I was all Canon with my photography, and was just looking at the Canon 5D Mark IV, which was about £2,500 at the time. And because that would allow me to carry the thing, what I'm doing here is I've got a microphone that's attached to the top of the camera on a magic arm, so it's brought it closer away. It's not sitting directly on the camera.
Like mine is in front of me, which isn't a good thing. I have to change this configuration. Yeah.
Or actually, just to lose that pop filter would take some of that away, wouldn't it, from the view?
I still have this arm here.
But I can't actually see the mic. I can see the frame around it. So I'm sure that's doable to...
Yeah, but anyway, let's talk about your equipment. I do have, for my regular podcast at my regular desk, I have an arm that hangs it down in front of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is just a shotgun mic. Yeah. I've got a shotgun mic as close in, just out of view here. So I wanted to be able to have the audio going into the camera, and then the HDMI lead that comes out of the camera and into my computer goes through a HDMI encoder converter that then plugs in as a USB connection the other end. And at the time, there were, and there still aren't actually, a lot of the Canon cameras and other brands don't carry audio across that HDMI output. So it means you have to have a separate microphone input, which is okay. And certainly with eCamm, you can mix it. And if there's a delay between the camera feed and the audio, you can adjust it again, something that you don't see in other products. But for simplicity, I just wanted it all to be coming through. So as far as my computer is concerned, the camera is providing the audio as well as the video feed, if that makes sense. So I moved across to Panasonic. This is it's a G80 or a G85 in the States, but it's the G7 is what I recommend. It's literally just over $400. So way more affordable than what I was using before. So I've got a whole load of Canon kit that sits in a cupboard over there, worth thousands. And here I am on this one with a little 20mm prime lens. So it's literally arm's distance away from me. But because it's a prime, it gets me this lovely blurred background,
and there's no
as you know.
distortion on your face either. I mean, it's beautiful.
But so the 20mm on a Micro Four Thirds is the equivalent of a 40mm on a full frame Canon. So yeah, it works really well. So that's kind of the camera side of it. I've got an equipment list here. I use a Rode mic on here. But again, I'm very conscious. I know you were talking about tech people that want to get into this. My audience typically aren't. They just want to create a course and they want to look like this, but they really aren't interested in the tech. So it's like, how simple can I make it? How affordable can I make it? So that really has been. So I recommend in my equipment list that I know you've got a Takstar mic that's like $22. And I put them side by side, and by the time we're back in here and we're streaming it, or someone's listening on through speakers in their monitor, actually you really couldn't tell any difference between a $300 mic and a $25 mic. So again, there's sort of bringing it down, and at points you go, oh no, we've gone too far, or maybe it's glitchy and it doesn't work well, and then you go, right, let's go back up to a higher quality product. But for some things, this mic has surprised me really, that it stands up and it does a great job. It's pretty awesome for $22, isn't it?
That's amazing. It's amazing. We were talking earlier because I had a question for you before we even started. I wanted to make sure that I could record dual system audio on eCamm Live the way I do on eCamm, the regular eCamm
Yeah, the call recorder
and,
that you use.
and we can. So for those of you on my side of the world who are very techie and are wondering, okay, can I get dual system sound? Yes, you can. And
Yeah.
that's another wonderful feature of eCamm Live. So back to your equipment list now. Is there anything else on there you want to talk about, or are you on a MacBook
Lights.
Pro, or what are you on?
Yeah, MacBook Pro. I got a
Okay.
15-inch MacBook Pro, but then I used to have a Mac Pro, so I'm actually still using the monitor, the big cinema display that came with that. So my MacBook Pro is sitting over there, and I'm using on this bigger monitor, partly because that quite often, if you've got Skype open, eCamm open, other things open, it doesn't take long before that fan kicks in. And if that's right in front of me and under my microphone, you can hear it. So that's one of my reasons of pushing that over there, is that I can work on this monitor and eliminate some of that sound.
Wow. So people can go on ProVideo Academy and they can get your equipment list, right?
Yeah, or you can, we can pop it in the description. I know there's a link. I keep meaning actually to set it up as, you can do these pop-ups on the web page.
Right.
So when you visit a page, before you leave, sometimes something pops up and says, would you like this before you go? I keep meaning to do it and get that equipment list put in there. So maybe I'll do it in the morning, and by the time people are watching this in the replay, if they go to adriansalisbury.com, then it will be there.
Well, I'll also tell people too, if you want to just ping me on Facebook, if you're watching this, just request it and we'll put the link up there for you, or send it to you by email if you want. So
yeah, we can put it in the description. Actually, that would work. Put a link in the description to it.
Yeah. So
Adrian, anyone that's looking.
Why do you think live streaming, other than this situation we're dealing with, why do you think it's important in today's marketplace for people who are running small businesses, or who want to get the word out, or who do tutorials? Why is live streaming more important than, say, just putting up a video?
Yeah, and to be honest, there are situations where I would still prefer to do a video first. I come at it very differently. So my lives are more conversational. They're like this, it's if people are chatting and asking questions, we can bring that in. So I've done several Q&As. I've been in the eCamm community group over there this last week or two, while people have been thrown into this online world, and actually it's been great to come on and go, right, I'm here, throw your questions in. And it's, as people are coming on, we can then bring their comments in. We can say, oh, hi, great to have you on the call with us. And it goes a step further when this whole building relationships, this know, like, and trust. But I would still pre-record a video first. Most of the videos that I make, I'm making them pre-recorded and I'm putting them on YouTube, because I know that will answer if someone is searching for an answer to a problem, a solution, they're not going to come on Facebook and search for it, or it's not going to show up on Google if they search. Only YouTube is going to do that. So for me, that shop window, that first contact with somebody is going to happen through one of my videos on YouTube. What I'm doing here with my lives is for the audience that I've already got, or that are at least, they've spotted me and they've maybe gone, oh, I'm going to follow him, or I'm going to come into his group. And it's then really that I'm then using the live side of it. And I think it's a fantastic way for building community and, just bringing people that level closer in.
It feels personal. But when you're doing a tutorial, you do need to be able to cut to a close-up of what you're trying to teach. At least when I'm doing a tutorial, I've got to do that, and I can't really do that as easily here.
Absolutely. So that becomes, and I've had people on this week or last week talking about how they can teach. Someone was talking about cookery. How do we actually do this? There are ways in eCamm of even using your phone as a second camera and positioning that above so it could be down here. And in the same way that we were playing around with earlier, the picture-in-picture thing, you could be doing all that and working that way. But as you say, it's, you and I probably would come at it more from let's shoot with one or two cameras, bring that footage together, and actually let's really make it. Because certainly if this is going onto YouTube, someone's come there, they're focused, I've got this pain, I need a solution to it. They don't want the chat, and they just want their solution.
Yeah.
So that YouTube video wants to be a lot slicker,
Yes.
and as you say, those zoomed in shots. So when I'm doing, like inside the eCamm Academy and inside the YouTube Academy, I could do it as a live, but it's way better if it's pre-recorded and I can have zoomed in on that part of the screen so you can see it. So there's definitely a place for both, really. And to my mind, I know Facebook will, if I put a video on Facebook, it won't broadcast that or share that in the same way that it would if I turn up live on Facebook. Right. So there is that reach aspect to it, that it's better. Yeah, I guess I was going to say old school. I kind of come at it that for me, I'm creating content that I want to get found. So my videos would be more how-to videos or review videos that I know, that if I were to do a review on this camera as a Facebook Live, it's very unlikely anybody's going to land on it who actually was looking for it.
Exactly.
But if I'd done that and I'd got my B-roll footage and it's all looking, it's really slick and tidy, I put it on YouTube, then in a week's time when someone goes looking for a review on this camera, it's there and it's a nice production.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're two slightly different tools in my mind.
So what can you tell people who are nervous about getting started with live streaming? What do you tell them to encourage them to do?
Yep. Very much to firstly try and ignore the fact that there are potentially millions of people going to be watching it.
Listen, everybody just saw me doing dumb things, so if I can do it, right, so can they.
I think, if I'm passionate about teaching YouTube and I think, I know I've got these skills, but I don't want to get on camera because I'm nervous of it. That's actually a bit selfish of me to hold myself back. If I know that there are, thousands of people on YouTube searching for something that I could actually help them with. So that kind of helps me get over this, that it's like, come on, push yourself out there because it's benefiting people. And I really am trying to talk to one person in here. I mean, this is quite easy in this, but if I were making a recorded video, I want this to come across. I want someone to watch this and think he's talking to me, and it feels engaging. You feel special because you've got this coach talking to you one-to-one. So it's very different to a lot of folks say to me, they're used to public speaking, they draw the energy from a crowd. And I'm saying this is very different to that. And you shouldn't be trying to talk to a crowd. You're just talking to one person when they're sitting at home watching your video. And what can you do for them? What are they going to be? I mean, if you're starting out, it's kind of a case of imagining what those reactions are going to be and imagining that someone's going to be coming back to you, thanking you. But once you get started in this and you do get those people coming back and saying, thank you so much for that video, it then inspires you for the next one to go, yep, I know I'm good at this, or, he thought I was good. And it just builds on that. I definitely think from the whole confidence side, and the equipment makes a difference. When I show up on camera, and actually you did this last week, Cirina, didn't you? When we came on and you went, that looks so good, we can't do this as a podcast, we need to do it as a video.
Exactly.
It's that kind of reaction when you come on a live, or you're joined in on a Zoom call or something, and people say, wow, your camera looks so good, how are you doing that? What? It kind of lifts you and it makes you feel good, and it makes a big difference to your confidence. If I'm on here and I know that my camera looks shocking, I'm kind of on a picture like this, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh yeah, and I know my audio is bad. It takes away from that, but knowing I'm showing up and it's all looking good gives me a real boost in confidence. So I do think getting good equipment plays a big part in it, actually.
Well, I encourage everybody to learn as much as they can from you. I know I will be, and I'm going to join the YouTube Academy for sure. And
Come on.
I do want to encourage people, because as media, as teachers, as educators, as friends, we have a voice in the world. And if we can spread positivity and love and caring to other people with what we do, that is so powerful. Somebody said to me yesterday, we are light warriors walking in the dark. And that resonated so strongly with me that I'm carrying that with me. And I want to thank you for giving me the courage to do this live stream on eCamm, even though you know what? Ultimately, it doesn't matter. My theory is, if everything was perfect, it would be perfectly boring. So that's it, right? Adrian, I know you have so much to do. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you want to convey to people, or anything you want to say?
No, I don't think so. I mean, come and find me if you're interested. Absolutely, the YouTube side of things. I think anyone in your audience could and should have a YouTube channel. And like you were just saying, Cirina, you know, if you come at it as a place not of, oh, I've seen these vloggers and they're making loads of money and getting millions of views and all of this. It's not about that. It is a platform to, you know, serve first, really. And if you can help somebody with something that you know they're out there looking for it, then get a video up, do a good job of it. You'll get found, and, you know, see where it goes from there, really. But yeah, I think everyone should be out there with a YouTube channel. I had somebody ask me on my live earlier, I'm looking at your ProVideo Academy, eCamm Academy, and YouTube Academy. Which should I go to first? Which should I prioritize? And actually, I said the YouTube, because I do think, as I've been saying, this is your shop window. This is where people will get that first contact with you. So of live streaming, should you live stream? Should you make your videos? Should you go off and sort that equipment out? I think actually prioritizing and getting clear on a channel and what you can do with YouTube would be the first place to start. And even local businesses, last time around when we ran this, we've got small salon owners saying, would this work for us? You know, we don't want to reach the world. And I'm saying, absolutely. Yeah. You know, if someone is going, if I want to know about a hairdresser in Peterborough, I'm going to go to Google and ask about it. And if we can get that in keywords and phrases in videos that are being created, then you're going to get ranked and get found, and people will come across and go, I really like this. I've never seen a hairdressers that keep putting videos up, and they're helping us out. And like now, you know, how do you survive without getting your hair cut for 3 months and things like this, you know? So they could be serving and not thinking of getting a sale back, but just genuinely being out there serving. And it definitely comes back.
My friend Bruce said, within 2 months, we're going to know what everybody's real hair color is.
I know. My wife's terrified that all the roots are going to come through.
We better get on Amazon and order color.
What makes me laugh is we're all going to be making these videos while we're going through this season, and then we're going to look back on it in years to come and go, yeah, that was through that Corona period. Because I can tell by my hair, I've got a ponytail.
Oh, Adrian, thanks for spending time with us. I really appreciate it. And everybody, go to adriansalisbury.com, go to OWCRADiO.com, Google Cirina Catania. I think that's the name of my YouTube channel, and that's how long it's been since I've posted anything. But thanks to Adrian.
Oh, it'll be amazing in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, you're going to see more of this mug very soon, thanks to Adrian. So remember what I always say, get up off your chair and go do something absolutely wonderful today in your house.
Love it. Yes.
All right. And
but
I
how
had
great
to end this. Okay, we click finish, right?
And you need to click it twice.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Bye. Thank you very much.